Hey everybody, I'm Eva. Thanks for joining. Today I'm going to share with you what I picked up in the Black Friday sales. And I have to say, this was a bit of an impulse buy. I wasn't looking for this or hoping that it would go on sale someday. I happened to be browsing, which, as you know, can be dangerous, but I just happened to be looking to see what Coach put on sale this time of year. Like I said, I wasn't really looking for this item, but when I saw that it was on sale, I decided it was a great time to try it. And I decided to try the Gramercy Tote. And I didn't get it because it was simply a tote. I got it because it was in suede. Okay, so let me bring it in close here so you can see this beautiful brown suede color. In fact, on the website, it's called warm brown. It's really, really beautiful. And then just showing you around the exterior of the bag. And then here's a shot of the bottom. I've been thinking about getting a suede bag for a while. I just hadn't seen a style that I loved enough to pay the price for it. So when I saw this, then I was like, yes, now's the time to try a suede bag. This Gramercy Tote also comes in like regular leather, non-suede options. It's available in the maple brown, the classic black with gold hardware, a light cream color, which I think would be really lovely in spring and summer, and the honey brown leather. This bag was on sale on the Coach website, but it was also available on Amazon for the same price. A few days after I bought my bag, I went back to look at Amazon and they were back at full price again. But I've just noticed that they're back on sale, so I wanted to go ahead and record this video and get it up for you today in case you're thinking about buying a Gramercy Tote, either in the suede or the other leather colors. I'll have those Amazon links down below in the description box. So like I said, this is the Gramercy Tote. Coach has used that Gramercy name before on other items. In case you're curious, Gramercy is a neighborhood in New York City. From what I understand, it's a very posh and affluent area. It has its own private park for the neighborhood. As you know, Coach is a New York-based company, and a lot of times they will name their items or their collections after places or streets in New York. So I got this tote because it was a great price and because I wanted to try something in suede. But there are a few things that I have found out since having this bag that surprised me that I like so much. The first thing I wasn't expecting was that this suede bag has a leather interior. Look at this. I didn't even look at the description to see what the interior was, if it was like a microfiber or leather lining. I just knew that when I saw this on that great sale, I immediately bought it. I didn't do any research. So learning that this has a leather interior was a great surprise. Since we're talking about the interior, I'll go ahead and try to give you a full shot of it here. The only organization in this bag is one back pocket and it closes with a snap. And it's a pretty good size back pocket there. Like I can get my whole hand in there and you can see the outline of that back pocket here on the back of the bag. Another feature I really like about this bag are the straps. First of all, I think you can see that they're actually adjustable. And I love having that versatility and flexibility on a tote. I've got mine set at the next to longest setting, and they have these really nice grommets on the size adjustments. So I think it just elevates the straps even more. Do you see how it dips down here in the middle? So the straps are already adjustable and they have a nice drop length, but when you have that little dip down here, it makes the bag so easy to get on and off your shoulder. See, it completely passes the elbow test. And like I said, I don't even have it on the longest setting. You could put it even longer if you wanted to have that ease of use, especially with a big winter jacket. Another thing I really like about these straps is that they're asymmetric. The strap is attached, and then it comes over on this side where it has the belt buckle. And then the rest of the length of the strap just falls down, diagonally here. And I really like that. That's repeated here, of course, on the back, on the opposite side. So it falls down on the back this way, and then this way down here on the front, which I just think is really cool. I like that design feature. They put a little D-ring here on the side of the bag for the Coach hang tag. And bonus, this hang tag is in suede. I've added a charm here. As you can see, it's one of these big cluster charms. This was a heritage charm from last year, I think. I've attached a little oval ring on the base of the strap and then just attached the charm there. I tried it over here, but it was actually hanging down away from the bag. So I like that for the hang tag, but I wanted to have my charm here on the bag itself. The last feature I wanted to talk about is the weight of this bag. I would assume that a leather tote with a leather interior would be quite heavy, especially, a bag of this size. But actually it's quite light. I'll put the weight down below. Of course, I'm gonna weigh it without the charm. This charm does give it some weight here. But I think that's great to start with a lightweight bag. Then if you charm it up or if you put heavy things down inside it, it all balances out. So I didn't expect it to be this light, but I'm really happy that it is. Another great surprise. I do want to mention a couple of potential cons if you're thinking about trying this Gramercy tote. It is not a structured tote. So for me, that's okay because I'm going to use an organizer inside this bag, but you can see how it just, you know, puddles over. Yeah, it's not structured at all. And from the photos that I've seen online, it may not retain this particular shape. The photos online show the bag actually falling over itself. Top would actually come over like this and give it indentation. Mine hasn't done that yet, maybe because it's still very new, but that's something to be aware of, and that might be a con to you if you don't want the shape to change. And then another potential con might be the size of this bag. For me, the size is a pro, but I know that some of you don't really care for extra large totes. And I learned that when I posted the taxi tote video. In fact, I'll compare this to the taxi tote. But some comments were that you liked the idea of it, you liked the design of it, but it was just too big for you. Speaking of size, I did want to mention that the length size that Coach provides on the website is 13.75, and that is the length of the base. It is not the length of the top. So as you can see, the top of the bag is significantly longer than the bottom of the bag. So I wanted to let you know that the measurements on the top of the bag from end to end here are 21.5 inches. So I think that's a nice shape of a tote, but I realize that some people may prefer more of a rectangular shape where the size of the top is more similar to the size of the bottom. I want to show you a photo of how this bag is packed that's on the Coach website right now. It appears to hold a lot, which now that I have it here in my hands, I can agree that it's a really good size. It's a really generous size, let's say. The Coach website says that it will fit up to a 16-inch laptop. I have a 13-inch here, so I want to show you what that looks like inside my bag. The top of the laptop is coming like to right about here, but I'm going to fold it over a little here so you can see how the size of the laptop relates to the size of the bag. There's definitely more room on each side for a larger laptop. Okay, so here let's compare it to the taxi tote. This is the latest tote that I got from Coach, and I'm absolutely loving it. I've worn it quite a bit since I've gotten it. I love it as a work bag. I'm going to try to line up the top of the bag so that you can see the size comparison. And then here I'll try to show you a little bit of the width so you can get a comparison there as well. This is my Fendi roll tote. It's about the same size as a Louis Vuitton Neverfull. Okay, the Gramercy tote is bigger than this Fendi tote. So if you're looking for something bigger than the Neverfull MM, then the Gramercy tote might be a good option. So knowing that it's bigger than the Neverfull MM, let's see how it compares to the Neverfull GM. So it's not quite as tall as the Neverfull GM, pretty close in terms of length, but look at the strap drop here. I do really enjoy wearing my Neverfull GM, but look at this. This just gives you more elbow room for sure. And then here's a shot of the width. They're both very wide bags. So as I mentioned, there's definitely some pros and cons with this style, but from what I've seen so far, definitely for me, the pros outweigh the cons. I really like the style features on this bag. I love the length of the straps and the design of the straps on this. It seems to me to be a very practical tote, but with some extra style elements infused in this design. So thanks for joining me today as I share with you my Black Friday impulse buy. I'm really glad I decided to go for this one. Let me know if you picked up something on Black Friday that you weren't expecting to get, or something that you were following that you were just waiting for it to go on sale. I'd love to hear from you. All right, well, thanks for watching today. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.